Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Okay, so today, first I'll kind of introduce you to Mr. Choi. Oscar, he's going to be HVAC, kind of help us out. He's done preventive maintenance, he's been through schooling and everything else. He's working for another company, but he's not growing very well there. He wanted to move over here, so just going to welcome him as you guys see him. Here's a sheet, if you can pass that around. Okay, so we're going to talk about some safety things again today. Wanted to kind of just go over a couple of things that trying to do at least one a month for safety, if not more. Okay, so the first part of the safety meeting today is going to be about electricity. So this goes for both, obviously, plumbing and HVAC, because we kind of have to sometimes deal with that either way on both sides. So being mindful of electricity, meaning people don't think to turn off the breaker when they want to go to take care of a couple little wires or change out a switch or whatever needs to be done. So how many of you guys have ever been just electrocuted with just 110? Okay. Everybody just about. A little shock here and there, right?
Yeah.
How about 220? Anybody? Yeah, so Bernard says, yeah, I mess around with that stuff all the time. So it's not fun, guys. 220 obviously is a lot more critical and not safe. But the goal should be always to try to turn off the electricity, turn off the power to what you're working on before you start messing with the wires. 110 just gives you a little bit of a jolt. It's not necessarily that's the only danger. A lot of times we're up in attics when we're doing this, right? Or we're on a ladder, it could be. Whatever the case is, you get that little jolt and it's just enough to push you off or get your balance off or whatever the case is. You could be going through drywall, through a ceiling, not only damaging a customer's home, but also risking yourself, injury. So, the first thing is just make sure that if you can turn it off, turn it off. And what kind of things can you also do in addition? When you're working with electricity, what else can you do to protect yourself, to be careful? I'll ask you guys the question.
Cords and water.
Stay away from water, that's good, yeah.
Not to stand in water and try to fix
out in the rain, maybe?
electrical water heater.
What else? What kind of tools should you use? What tools are better to use than?
GFI protector.
Okay, so rubber handles on pliers or channel locks or snippers, cutters, whatever you're going to use. I've seen guys just using, metal handles. There's no rubber on them or anything else. It's just not smart. So, those are just a couple little things you can do. So I'm going to ask a question on eye protection, eye safety. How many of you guys have some type of eye protection? Safety goggles, glasses, something like that you wear? Bernard, no?
I don't wear often, but I have in my truck, and if I use drill, sometimes I use it.
Didn't you have your eye, something done with your eye once?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So out of anybody, I think, your eyes are important to you guys. We have two eyes.
That somebody threw something.
I know, somebody threw something at you, you're right.
So.
But still, my point about having something happen to your eye ever doesn't matter. You only have these two eyes, and you lose an eye, and it's not like you can get another eye. So, I highly recommend, especially if you're grinding, anything that can cause something to get into your eye. Wear eye goggles, guys. It's just, they're your eyes. You want to be able to see the rest of your life. So you can't just go get another set of eyes. Same thing with ears. How many of you guys, when you're around loud noises, jackhammers or grinders or anything else, wear ear protection? And you guys should wear earplugs and get some disposable ones. You can get the ones that you can, I don't care if it's an earmuff or something. Just try to protect your ears. When I was growing up, I think we're all kind of the same way. As we're growing up, we kind of just, no big deal. But as you get older, and now you can't hear as well, you can't see as well, or, you know, because you've had some kind of damage to your ears or your eyes. It sucks, man. It sucks getting old as it is, but then when you have injury on top of it that could have been preventable, you know, that's kind of where you're going to go back and wish that you, you know, wore those things. What about those of you who work in attics? Do you guys wear, you know, your face protection or the dust and if there's asbestos or fiberglass or anything else up there, right? Protect your lungs, same thing. Back in the day when, you know, asbestos and all those things were around and nobody knew they were dangerous, people just, you know, went up in attics and did all the work that they did without wearing any kind of, you know, apparatus for their lungs, to protect their lungs. But a lot of them are regretting it now. So you never know what's in the stuff that they put in these buildings anymore. You know, it was lead paint back in the day, and no one realized it until later on. So all those type of things can be dangerous. So just protect yourself as if there's something up there that's not good for you. We work sometimes in areas where there's mold, same thing, you know, you can get sick. So even if it's not something that's necessarily a permanent deal, it's something that could be, you know, still get you sick and not be good for you. I kind of briefly talked about this before, but making sure you're using the right tools. So like if you need to use a chisel for an example, don't use a screwdriver, right? I mean, just kind of certain things like that. You can slam it into your hand and things like that. So, and then actually one of the ones that I like the best about all of these is knowing what you're doing. Okay, so a lot of accidents occur from people trying to do something they've never done before, and, you know, don't ask for help, don't call anybody, and they just start doing something, and they realize that, oops, you know, I shouldn't have touched that, or, you know, I shouldn't have done it this way or done it that way. So if you aren't sure about how to do something, make sure you ask somebody, get some help. I mean, nowadays with YouTube and things, you can look things up, but we need to just be careful that we're, you know, doing things safely and knowing what we're doing when we're doing it. That make sense? Okay. So that was my safety meeting for today. That was short and sweet. I don't have a whole lot going on really today. I was off on Friday. I don't know what you guys talked about on Friday, Kevin. So do you have anything you want to bring up to everybody? Anything that happened this weekend that we can share?
No, I think we got some calls over the weekend. For the most part, I think we ran the calls. It was kind of uneventful for the most part. And Friday we talked about Finn. Is that right?
Okay.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. So,
Yeah, I just talked, and that's funny that you talk about Finn because I had a, you know, it's a funny story because this is my first time. My daughter's 14, and she has this boy she's interested in at school now, right? Being a freshman in school, high school. So my rule was, number one, no, you don't you don't date till you're 16, but she wanted to play video games with this boy at my house. So her parents came over, we met her parents, and her parents were telling me about their house flooded out. So first thing I thought of, because Kevin had just mentioned the Finn last week, and I looked it up and kind of saw what it did and read the brochure he gave me. And these guys, it flooded out their house. They lost all their flooring in the living room. Both bathrooms, they were just totally flooded out. They had to remodel them. It's been 3 months since it was like December when this happened, and they're still getting everything fixed from all of that. So I brought this up to him. I brought the Finn up to him. I said, you need to look this up. If you're interested, let me know. I mean, now these guys live in Oceanside, so, you know, it's San Diego County, but it doesn't mean we can't send someone down there to put one in. You know, it's about the same distance that way as it probably is in some of the places we go up north.
Right.
But, I mean, I think that's an awesome product, So, it's cool. But I mean, I was just thinking when this guy came in and started talking to him, I'm like, oh yeah, that'd be great for you. That'd be perfect for you. And he's a real techie guy too, IT guy. Works for like, the HERO program, but as a tech, the IT guy, one of the head IT guys, yeah. So, pretty cool. All right, well, I guess we should just get out there and, you know, get things going. I'm gonna get all the hire paperwork going on for Mr. Choi here, and then we'll see where we put him today as well. All right, thanks, guys.